and welcome. You're watching the Right to be Heard Town Hall. Out of the 545 MPs in India, 156 come from political families. Why is Indian politics a closed-door system? Joining us on the show today is Minister of State, Mr. Sachin Pilot. We've got lots of people very anxious to ask Sachin Pilot questions.
Will Rahul Gandhi continue to be Prime Minister perpetual in waiting? He has been Prime Minister in waiting for last 10 years. And recently, during Chintan Baithak of Congress in Jaipur, when he was anointed as Vice President of Congress Party, senior Congress Party leaders gave all the indications that he will be projected as future Prime Minister for 2014 elections. But now we are getting very confusing signals.
Why is there so much confusion?
Prime Minister who is normally very quiet, who avoids all the controversies, he's saying that he can be re-nominated for third term as a Prime Minister. Your official spokesperson, Janardhan Dwivedi, says that present arrangement between Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh has worked very well during last 10 years.
Okay, you've asked your question. And let him answer it.
In the last 9 years, I don't think Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the Congress spokesperson or anybody else has ever said that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is PM in waiting. Mr. Kanwal may have said it, you may have said it, but the government and the party has never once said it. One. Second, what Mr. Dwivedi said the other day was that in democracies what happens is there is always a one-upsmanship. The relationship between the top leaderships always is, a bit cumbersome. For the last 9 years, Mrs. Gandhi has been doing the political work as Congress president and leader of the UPA, managing allies, doing all the political party work. And Dr. Manmohan Singh has been working as a Prime Minister. He's a thoroughly qualified professional, who's got impeccable credibility. And they both have together been able to deliver to this country, to the best of my knowledge, in the last 8 years out of 9, this country has grown at 8% or more. This year, of course, we have a little downturn. He was referring to the arrangement, and we should be happy that for 9 years, we've been able to have a stable coalition politics at work, and the government of the UPA government has been able to deliver. Third point you made was about projection. Now, it is my understanding that perhaps in the BJP, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 11 people need or want to be projected. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, I think, doesn't need any projection because he himself has said, and I'm reiterating what he has said, that he is not going and running after a particular post. If he had to become or wanted to become a minister or something else, it would have been done many years ago. The fact that he wants to do something for the party, for our country, without looking like he's desperate to attain a particular position, that is his philosophy. Now, I won't take names in the BJP, but there are about 12 people who are thumping their chest morning to night, who are ready to compromise, who are ready to negotiate, who are ready to do anything to be projected as Prime Minister. Now, who will be Prime Minister? Neither you nor I will decide, the people of India will decide. We will run our course in 2014, go to the polls with what we've done, and with all humility, I must submit to you that let the 1.2 billion people decide whether X, Y, or Z will be Prime Minister. Today, 1 year in advance, we don't need to say who will be projected, not projected. Dr. Manmohan Singh has 1 more year to complete. He has a lot of agenda on his table. He is going to do reforms. He's going to do many more things that he's promised. And let's wait for the people's verdict.
Today in the morning, when I was just reading one of your articles, so I just found out that you were siding Rahul Gandhi to be the Prime Minister, comparing Narendra Modi just being limited to Gujarat. If you talk about development, if you talk about any other sectors in which development is happening nowadays. So, Sachin, why not just, put it in a very clear way? If Congress wants to project, though it's not projecting, if Congress wants to project Rahul Gandhi as the Prime Minister, and on the other side, we have BJP who's projecting Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. Then it's, why not be clear?
I don't think I should answer for the BJP.
Yeah.
And the fact that why the BJP has not yet declared Mr. Modi as PM candidate, I think is best answered by them. It's not up to me to answer.
Right.
To answer your earlier question, I was giving a matter of fact. Statement was that Mr. Modi has been CM thrice of Gujarat, right? And I, full respect to anybody who gets elected for the third time. Sheila Dikshit ji in Delhi, Tarun Gogoi in Assam have both been elected 3 times. Jyoti Basu was elected 5 times as Chief Minister. I don't think any of these people have gone around with such bravado trying to say that they have done the best thing in the universe, one. And B, the point I was making was during the Gujarat election, where I said Mr. Modi is the leader of Gujarat, he gets votes on his name for his party, and he wins the election third time, fair enough. The question is, how many votes or how much of the help to the party can he be when he goes to campaign in Kerala, or in Assam, or in Gangtok, or in Kargil? I said to him, the reporter who asked me the question, that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, when he goes to campaign for my party, in any part of the country, irrespective of region, religion, he gets crowds, he gets people to vote for the party. That ability, Mr. Modi has yet to perform. He has done a great job of campaigning for himself, marketing himself, and hats off to his management. He's done it. But to be proven to be a pan-India leader, that will take time, and we'll see what happens. I'm not passing judgments, but I was only stating a matter of fact till date. This is a factual
situation. Can you do a
situation.
SWOT analysis of Rahul and Modi? Why do you, if you have to explain to these people or anyone watching your program, why is it that you believe that Rahul is better than Modi?
Look, I think it's unfair to do this SWOT analysis and who's
you don't
better,
have an
who's
answer.
not fair. I can give you half an hour answer if you have the patience to listen to me.
Yes.
The fact is that you want me to compare X and Y. There is no comparison. Mr. Modi, by the way, is a Chief Minister of Gujarat. He has not said he wants to be Prime Minister. The BJP is not saying he wants to be Prime Minister. You are saying I should compare the speculative contest between Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Modi, which may or may not happen.
No, we leave that on the side.
Then you ask me about individuals.
You compare capabilities,
exactly.
thoughts, ideas, vision.
I'm happy to answer that question,
yes.
Because I have worked with Mr. Gandhi inside of Parliament, outside the Parliament, and I believe he's one of those people who is so deeply rooted to the reality of Indian politics that he doesn't believe in showing what he's doing and marketing himself and going and announcing the things that he's doing, not doing. But within the party, I've seen him interacting and performing, not to please television cameras, not to make press statements, which Mr. Modi is very, very good at. He's someone who I think is very humble, who's approachable, who I enjoy working with. I mean, if someone had to give me a choice, who do you work for? And you talk about all the other leaders, for these regional outfits who work with an iron fist and who have no space for a discussion and debate. He's someone who encourages discussions within the small group or a large group, and that for me as a political leader, it's important to have a leadership that is able to understand, listen, and we can talk about whatever we wish. And like I said earlier, Mr. Gandhi, if he was looking only to become the minister or the prime minister, then that's an easy way for doing things for him. And I think he's proven beyond doubt that he's not looking to attain a certain position. He's rather here to make a difference.
Okay, the gentleman over there.
You say that Rahul Gandhi is capable leader to become prime minister. I agree, I take your point. But Rahul Gandhi says, Rani Jhansi ki Rani, not Rani ki Jhansi. Rahul Gandhi says that Australia जो है वो यूपी से छोटा है. Such kind of a statement he makes, and it automatically proves that Rahul Gandhi doesn't deserve to become prime minister. Only Congress leaders are projecting him. I saw 3 and 4 Congress spokesperson, including your Congress General Secretary, Mr. Digvijay Singh. He has a business. They all have business, only one business to project Rahul Gandhi. I think flattering is a measure to get promotion in the Congress party, and therefore all you people do it.
I didn't get the question though. What is the question?
No, he was saying that Rahul tends to make lots of silly mistakes. Rani ki Jhansi instead of Jhansi ki Rani. He gets his facts and figures wrong. He's reading from a prepared speech instead of being able to speak extempore. When Modi is speaking, he's speaking extempore because he's got administrative experience to back what he's saying. Okay. Whereas with Rahul, it seems he's rattling off what somebody else has written for him.
Let me answer my young friend. Whatever history of this country I've seen, anybody who has devoted his life for running after the chair of the Prime Minister has actually never got it. The post of the Prime Minister in this country comes with luck, destiny and faith, and it comes to you. So people who have orchestrated their entire lives, sacrificed, compromised, done all sorts of alignment, realignment to get to that position, have never got it. And I'm not taking names here. What I'm saying is...
You're talking of Mr. Advani.
I'm not taking names. I've smartened up, Rahul. I'm not going to take any names. I'm just giving you a fact of Indian political history, that it is not a US type of election where you vote for the individual. Like I said, there are 40 parties. There are 2 large coalitions. And people vote for the party and they vote for the members of parliament. And the members of parliament of the particular party elect their leader, and he or she then becomes prime minister. It's not a standoff between 2 individuals. And like I said, in whatever I've seen of the few leaders of the BJP, there is a mad jostling as to who can be projected for a position that is not even vacant today. So they're all looking at what happens 14
No, but you
months
haven't
later.
answered his question about Rahul making silly mistakes because he doesn't have administrative experience. When Modi is speaking, he's speaking from what he's done and therefore he seems that much more authoritative, as Rahul seems to be constantly reading off a prepared text.
In India, I know that Mr. late Chandrasekhar ji, he became Prime Minister without ever having been Chief Minister or Minister. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, late Rajiv Gandhi, became Prime Minister. And his 5 years as Prime Minister, we saw the IT revolution, we saw the Panchayat Raj coming into play, young people getting more empowered and enfranchised. So it's fine to have and want experience, but I think people who have the imagination, determination and leadership qualities can deliver on any given day. And I'm not here again making comparisons. All I'm saying is that you don't have to check X number of boxes to be able to do something. If the opportunity comes and presents itself, and if you have the wherewithal, you can deliver.
Okay.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi says that he works for the grassroots. To be very succinct, Sagrika wrote an article which stated, Rahul Gandhi is a Democrat over the weekdays and he's a prince over the weekend. What example do you think he's setting for the young generation by flying abroad over the weekends, like regular weekends?
I think it's unfair for either whoever wrote their article to start talking about what person does not do. You should judge the individual by his or her performance in the political arena, right? If someone is a journalist, someone is an artist, you judge them for the work they do. And you know, somebody asked about so-and-so campaign in that particular part of the country, did not win that many votes, did not win elections. Yes, in elections, in democracy, losing is as much a part of our political discourse as winning is. You must be able to be humble in your victory and be graceful in your defeat. If you lose, you say, well, I've lost, I'll work again. I don't think anybody should shy away from saying that I tried hard but I couldn't win. You know, I can tell you 10 examples of how Mr. Advani went to campaign in Assam and got 0 votes, how Ms. Uma Bharati went to campaign in Tamil Nadu, got 0 votes. So you can always compare and people win and lose. But I'm saying the fact that you want to remain committed to working for the people and making sure that you win the next time around, that's the spirit of democracy. And I think this whole atmosphere of acrimony, this is not what I think we should be all about. Indian politics is about having difference of opinion. My ideology may not be your ideology, but our common objective should be the same. We must bring a better society, less corruption, open, transparent systems. And if we get into personalized tit for tat and this sort of hatred for individuals, I don't think it's doing justice for the future of our country.
Okay, let me give some specific facts about performance. Mr. Rahul Gandhi in the 15th Lok Sabha hasn't asked a single question. The average for other MPs is significantly high. He's spoken only once. So even when it comes to performance, on a day when the anti-rape bill was passed, he wasn't even there. If you look at his performance when it comes to questions or debates, I mean, you tell me what you think of it.
Well, I think the
As a
job of a
parliamentarian,
member of parliament, there are 800 MPs. And if you think a good MP is only one who writes and submits a question, 30 of them every week.
Takes part in debates, is present on important days, he's been found wanting on those counts.
I mean, that's your view,
But
your
that's a
judgment.
fact.
No, that's your
it's a
judgment.
fact. It's just,
I
I'm
think,
stating facts.
I go to parliament very often and I get to sit in the parliament, not observe from where you sit. And I know when our leaders are there, when they're not there, the kind of directions we get from them as to what stand to take on particular issues, who's to make what points. And debates are what the party represents. You articulate your views through the party, and that's what Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi do, and they have been doing successfully for so many years.
Okay.
I have a one-liner for you, Sachin ji, and I want a specific answer from you.
All right.
When you go to the constituency or when you enter the parliament,
Ji.
is it Sachin which plays the role or the pilot? Similarly, Rahul or Gandhi, which factor is more important?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think it's impossible to divorce the two, right? I am who I am. My first name and last name are my identity. Whether my entire identity is acceptable or not, that is the question. That should be the question. And the answer to your question has been given twice, in 2004, 2009, and hopefully in 2014 again.
Ultimately, sir, a leader is someone who's willing to lead. There is no other qualification for a leader. So, Rahul Gandhi, by your admission, seems to be the correct person to lead the Congress party. Because he is a nice person for you to work with, he's democratic, he listens to people, and you seem to know so much about
Sir,
him.
can I answer a question before you finish it?
Right, sir.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi will lead the Congress party in the polls. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is going to lead the Congress party when we
And
go
therefore,
to the polls
sir, I
in
wish-
2014. There should be no question about
Therefore,
it.
I wish to ask
No
you,
question
sir,
about it, first of all. Second of all, I think
Therefore,
you're...
can I ask the supplement?
Okay, go ahead.
Therefore, sir, I'm anxious to know
Right.
what Rahul Gandhi's views are. For example, you are in a position of privilege, being a senior member of the party, to know how he thinks and what he thinks of things that are of importance to this country. Unfortunately, many of us do not, whereas we also have the right to know, in case he's willing to lead, which is if he wants to be the leader for and I would welcome it. However, like most leadership in other countries, perhaps, and also in ours, Rahul Gandhi's views on welfare is well known. His views on rural empowerment is well known, but there are a wide bevy of issues on which he seems to be reluctant to articulate a well-formulated position. He should talk more often, he should articulate his views through people, through his own public utterances, through press conferences, so that we know what Rahul Gandhi stands for.
Who he is and what he stands for.
So first of all, I want to thank you for having, perhaps by mistake even, calling me a senior leader without having any grey hair. You are calling me a senior leader, which is very, very, I feel very obligated to you. कि आपने मुझे senior नेता बोला, that's very good to hear. About, you know, Mr. Gandhi spoke at the CII function for an hour and 20 minutes about whatever the agenda of the discourse was. There are some people who rush to the media and to the television cameras to give any small bite and talk about everything under the sun. But what my party's vice president and the president stand for is pretty much the views of the party. Right? So whatever the Congress and the UPA does, whether it's right to information, right to education, right to food that's coming up, the commitment to having inclusive growth, to have a good, robust economic agenda for our country, I think those are all the views that have come to the government from the party, and the party leadership ultimately decides what stand the Congress party will take and what stand the UPA will take as a government. So I think it's wrong to delineate the two. Your point is that you want to hear more personalized opinion about very specific issues. I think that will happen in time.
So, you just said that Mr. Rahul is not PM in waiting. On the other hand, said that he will lead the Congress.
Yes.
And you gave the examples of Chandrasekhar, Rajiv Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi is not that mature. So can Congress not find any matured person, experienced person who can be the forceful Prime Minister, not like Dr. Manmohan Singh working under Sonia Gandhi?
Sir, the election will happen in 2014, and my submission was that in our party, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi will lead the Congress party to polls. And I'm confident that UPA 3 is a possibility and we'll come back to power. Once we win the elections, the Congress parliamentary party will Congress party will sit together and elect the leader who will lead the UPA 3.
So who will be Rahul's Manmohan?
Well, I don't think Mr. Gandhi has said that he's going to choose someone or not be himself. He said that question will be answered when the polls happen and when we win the elections.
Because the party said that the Sonia Rahul model, the Sonia Manmohan model has worked very well and is an ideal for the future. So now everybody's looking at that chair and wondering who gets to sit there if
I think
the
you're
chair
reading
is available.
far too much into one statement that was made.
You said that Mr. Modi is the Chief Minister of Gujarat and his performance in Kargil or Kerala or Tamil Nadu is yet to be seen. And then you talked about pan-India presence. Sir, in the UPA elections, Mr. Gandhi campaigned for 3 months and yet you lost the elections. And then you talk about pan-India presence. So what do you have to talk about that?
I'll tell you, in Uttar Pradesh, out of 80 members of parliament, the Congress party has 22. When we fought the assembly elections, we worked very hard to make sure that the current government goes away. And I am the first person to admit that the results were far below our expectations. But the fact remains that the campaign that Mr. Gandhi did was a campaign that was rooted to the ground. He went to every district, every block, and really fought hard. Now, we may not have got the results we wanted, but the fact that we fought with our heart, and I can tell you that our vote percentage increased a little bit, but more importantly, every block, every village in Uttar Pradesh today has a Congress worker, a Congress supporter. That is the base of our party, and those people need to be told that me and Mr. Gandhi and all of us stand by them. That sort of outreach is there. The poll machinery perhaps is not as efficient as we'd like it to be, but you can't compare. I think the Congress party's presence in UP and you compare with the BJP's presence in, for example, Tamil Nadu or Kerala, I think it's incomparable.
Okay.
Leaving the Rahul Gandhi talk behind. So I have a question regarding, like, there is corruption on everybody's mind right now. It's a hot topic. So my question is that before every major election, major parties promise that there will be a comprehensive look into the spending on political campaigns by the parties. Still, we find that the parties are able to exploit the loopholes. The laws have been amended many times. Why is the state funding not being put into place for the political campaigns? Do the parties do not support it as of now? Political parties?
I think the problem is that there's no consensus on it. If you ask anybody individually, everybody says it's a good idea. But I think India is changing. So 10 years ago, the reach of the electronic media, of mobile phone, of internet was limited. Today, I think the state should be able to give candidates the time and space so that they can talk about their views, how they'll develop their constituencies, what the agendas are, what the party stands for, so people can make an informed choice. This voting on, caste and communal lines, will, I don't think, last very long, because ultimately when India changes, people are able to transcend their differences and look at leaders who will work for them irrespective of their caste and creed. That is the ultimate objective of where we want to be. State funding, public availability of media, of radio, television and print media is something that I think that will really take care of a lot of the problems that we have today of reaching people. You have to spend money in getting your message across to people.
No, but the Election Commission recommended that all donations should be made transparent and public. The Congress party and other parties also opposed it, saying that less than 20,000 rupees there's no need to declare, and 85% of the money that your party gets is supposedly under amounts less than 20,000 rupees. Now that's just a way of ensuring complete lack of transparency.
When the party collects funds and if the amounts are less than 8 or 10,000 rupees, then the law says that you don't have to write down the exact details and bank accounts, etc., because it becomes cumbersome. The amounts of money that political parties
have to raise. That's just a way of ensuring that you get a lot of money without declaring who's giving it to you.
But the fact is that every single penny that the Congress party gets is fully made available to the income tax, to the Election Commission, to anybody who wants to see it. So in terms of record keeping and knowing where the money is coming and going, there is absolutely no problem.
No, but it's not declared publicly. All the amounts lesser than 20,000 rupees are not declared publicly.
My information, Rahul, is that every money that we get as Congress party is actually tabulated and accounted for. And there is, within the law, whatever is permissible, that is what is allowed to be done.
But the Election Commission says the law should be changed.
That's the problem. Like I said, that is where we have to get consensus. There are 3.5 dozen parties in Parliament. And unless you get a consensus on that, it's difficult to pass a law on that front. I'm all for it, but I need to get consensus within Parliament to have that happen.